Should we wait for this whole minute? I think I set the timer wrong. We're not waiting all that long. That's too long. That's too long. I can't wait that long. All right. It's that time again. We'll do a little development today. Lot to cover. A lot to just go over. We got a lot of pull requests to go through. And I really appreciate the Linux crowd is super passionate. I think that's something that is lost on us, so many people. Super passionate bunch. With passion comes some challenges too that we need to probably talk about, as I noticed kind of popped up on the Linux utility project, that we really never have had this problem on the Windows utility, but on the Linux utility it is a definite problem. So let's talk about this, because it's kind of wild, and I really do. I love it either way. It's just different challenges. So I always look at something where most people would be like, oh, screw this, I'm out. And just look at it as an opportunity to either grow as a person or figure out a way to tackle new issues. I always love that. So it's so much fun. How's everybody doing today? Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Did you hear about Renee? I don't even know who Renee is. Oh yeah, we're going to be looking through all the PRs today. So much to go through. So much to go through. Well, I don't know. We're going to look through all of them. My mom's in town, so I've been kind of waylaid a little bit this weekend, and me and my wife just finished our anniversary, so that was fun too. So it's been trying to get going. The Linux dev who got swatted on stream. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Yeah. I always try and put a bunch of wrong addresses everywhere I go. So if you ever find an address for me, I'm hoping it's the wrong one. I think that one of the best ways to obfuscate your address is not try and hide it per se, especially from a public persona like myself. It's to put a bunch of bad information out. So there's a lot of addresses out. I've had people call me and those types of things, and then they're like, "Oh, well, hey, you're over on this address." I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, and also it depends on your politics too, and other things that kind of go into it. Hopefully I don't make anybody mad by what I do. I always try and put a lot of good out in the world. So I always try and stay that way. And that also kind of keeps away a lot of the crazies. And you know, if you just try and help a bunch of people, usually it fosters a good audience, I think. Or at least I hope so. Judging by everybody that jumps into chat, I always love chatting with y'all. So, I mean, and there's so many repeat people that I'm like, sweet. It's awesome. So yeah, that's what we do. He streamed earlier from his car. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah. What's your current opinion of Fedora? You know, I've always loved Fedora from a technical perspective, and some of the offshoots of Fedora, specifically like the Universal Blue project, is really interesting. And that's one thing about Fedora I like. Like, new people, I always recommend Bazite to, from a gaming perspective, and that's based off of Universal Blue, which is based off of Fedora, and it's just a good starting spot for many people. Even though I'm not a big fan of Fedora, I'll never run Fedora on my system, but not as a main daily driver, but I'll still touch it. It's something. It's my very first system I ever learned on was a RHEL-based system, much like Fedora. So there's still a spot in there I'll do, but past that, I just don't like anything run indirectly or directly by Red Hat for reasons I've covered in many videos. Maybe do a video on how you use Wine, including modifying the registry in typical situations you are having with Wine drivers, Battle.net, Epic, Steam. Yeah, I think I've done that video, but I might tackle it again because a lot of people don't understand wine bottles and the creation of them using like wine prefix and those types of things, or even how to utilize proton and other iterations of wine as well. Oh, we finally cut it. All right. What was that? 371? Well, let's do a PR real fast. We can come back to chat. Let's do a little PR while we're here. Let's see what we got. Here we go. Let's go Lin Util. And WinUtil, man, we finally did it. I forgot to, big announcement today. Big, huge announcement. We are now officially the #1 PowerShell project in the world. If we look at the top 100 PowerShell projects, we now have beat out Scoop, which is a package manager, and PowerShell Core from Microsoft. And now we are officially numero uno. #1. So isn't that wild? That is surreal. Absolutely surreal that who would ever thought that? Literally, I made that whole video because I had a script that I used in my job. And I was like, hey, I use this to set up Windows faster. So let's just do a couple modifications and I'll just use it for a quick YouTube video, because at the time I think I was making like 5 YouTube videos a week, and I was just like, okay, new idea, just jamming through them. And then this all happened from that one idea. Blows my mind. That one idea, that one YouTube video that people latched onto and go, this is pretty awesome, but it could be better. And then we just slowly, like all the contributions, all the contributors that came into this, look at our contributors count. This also blows my mind. Like, most people in Windows don't really understand open source that well, or don't really go, well, why would anybody ever do open source? And this is why. It's kind of wild to me that all these people have contributed this project and made it what it was. If it was just me doing this, if I was the only one doing it, it would have probably stayed a CLI, or I think I modified it a little bit to do like WinForms and then XAML. I did actually do the design of the XAML, but a lot of the fine tuning and a lot of the big advancement came from a lot of contributors. So if you actually click on contributors, we have 184 contributors to this project. It's got to crunch the data to pull them all in. So hang tight. It's doing it. Just crunching the data. It's just so many contributors. GitHub's like, oh crap, 1 second. We got to load this. I might need to refresh. Let's see. All right. Oh God, there we go. It finally loaded. But you can see it was originally offshoot. It was actually 2020 when I made the Win10 script, which was the origins of this one. And then in 2022 is when I forked that and made it, went from WinForms to XAML, and redesigned a lot of it. And some of the big original people were developer Derp, that was behind run spaces and some fine tuning. So it's really cool. So you can see all the contributors right here, where you see this giant peak is when I went from YouTube and I said, hey guys, I'm not a YouTuber anymore. I'm a developer. And I just like went all in on it. I was like, let's just pile in. I'm just going to spend tens of hours a week, probably like around 20 hours a week on this project. We're just going to make it the best damn thing ever. And then, you know, and there's still a lot about GitHub. I was really, at the very beginning, I knew nothing of GitHub, and I've just slowly been adding and understanding it better and better, and being able to collaborate a lot better. A lot of the original collaborators here probably dropped off because I just wasn't very good at GitHub and collaborating. And it's just a skill that you have to learn by doing more. So we started doing this, and we kind of, you can see just, oh man, we picked up OG Drift User, Martin, Calum, and Coding Wonders. Coding Wonders has been here for a bit because he's been working on MicroWin. And here's Developer Derp. He was one of the originals. He's kind of fallen off a little bit. Same with Conti. Conti had the addition of MicroWin initially before Coding Wonders pretty much just took over MicroWin. And this initial commit by Conti was MicroWin and then theming with a whole bunch of code. So all of these, and Pad made a lot of commits too to kind of fine tune, close out issues and other things. So really cool. Blue's done the same. And you can just see all these different. Carter had a lot of initial thoughts and contributions early on saying, hey, probably do this. He was more of a pro, I want to say, and far better than me at GitHub. And some of the very initial commits came from him just saying, hey, this is probably what you should do. Some of it I was able to implement. Some of his stuff got wiped out too. So I'm sorry, Carter. I was just learning. And you can just see all the different people over the years, and it's just wild to me where all this went with just open source contributions, and where it's at now is in such a good spot that it blows my mind. So open source in Windows can work, and it can work very well for a lot of people, and you can make some amazing projects. I think the downside, to open source that I still haven't quite figured out, it's hard to monetize. It really is. Open source projects are, and I know a lot of Linux users think you can do it through like support, but you got to scale up your support to do that and hire a bunch of people to try and answer the phones and those types of things to support an open source project and sell support. So I don't consider that really a viable avenue, even though some have tackled that route. So I don't know on open source how you make money with open source. I guess that's kind of one of the downsides. But I mean, a lot of people do donate and distribute. So like you can see almost everything I do is open source. And where is sponsors dashboard? Oh man, I'm gonna log in. One second. Let me pull up this. Let's try this. Maybe. So here we go. We got it. So far we've had 35 sponsors. A monthly estimated revenue is about 105, which is amazing. And then the next payout's 208 because some people just like to donate in batches. I had one guy contact me via email, thank you, and just said, hey, here's $100. I just love this project, use it all the time at work, and it works great. So you can make some money on open source. I get why people steer away from it when it comes to the monetization side of things, but still, I really appreciate everybody that contributes, and whether that's monetarily, whether that's code, it's awesome. So it's awesome. I love it. It just seeing how far a project can go is so powerful. Yeah, it all started with a video idea. That's the crazy thing. All right, let's look at the docs idea from Calum here. That was 371. That shouldn't really change anything. Was that 371? Good Lord. 59 pull requests. Let's just accept one and then bulk comment. Hey, rebase your project, please. That's what we did last time, remember? That's one way to lose some contributors. All right. Please read additional info before merging. Calum knows me. I don't read. All right. Docs update to move files and add info. Full testing on another repo. All right. All right. Additional info. On the repo settings, go to Actions. General, make sure the workflow permissions is set to read and write permissions on the pages and set it to root. This will fix all issues regarding docs. I think all this is good. Let's look at the changes. All right, we got contributing guide. Pushing the MK docs to .github. perfect. Cleaning it up, keeping that root nice and clean. I like it. A lot of GitHub stuff I like to put there, whether it's code of conduct, sponsors, a lot of contributing, those types of things that are specific to GitHub itself. I like to put in the .github folder instead of the root. The only file I found you can't put in the .github folder is the license file. The license has to go in the root of your project. Everything else pretty much can go into .github though. So pro tip for those that manage these big things. Let's see. Oh yeah, old network Chuck. Maybe eventually we'll get together. Old Chuck and I. That'd be fun. Yeah, I love network Chuck. He makes some really good videos too. And it'd be kind of a neat compliment because network Chuck comes from a big education background, and that's why his videos are so damn good. Because a lot of his stuff comes from, I think he was an employee at a big company that did a lot of tutorial videos and tutorial like classes. So a lot of his stuff, he comes from this good educational background on top of knowing his crap and being able to do a lot of the technical work. So that's why, I mean, it's just such a powerful combo that Chuck has. Love him. I'm not a programmer, but I have loads of ideas. Maybe another person might actually be able to use or code something. Where can I go post them? I'd say issues on GitHub is always a good spot. If you have like, hey, here's a feature request or a feature idea. And then sometimes it's something easy that can be implemented. Sometimes it's, well, there's a lot of nuance to it. So it'd be kind of cool. Is that an Apple Watch Ultra? No, Apple's the devil. Garmin all the way. I don't want some subscription fees, and I don't like anything else, so I'm a Garmin guy. And I'm also an Android user. Yeah, I don't really love Android, but at the same time, I still like to tinker here and there, so I still do Android. Maybe one day I'll finally cave to Apple. But I did an Apple challenge on the channel, I think a year or two ago, when I was like, I'm moving to Apple, just to try it out. I had like a Mac Mini, I had an Apple Watch, and I had an Apple iPhone. Man, YouTuber problems, right? You just buy all this crap. And then I used it for a month, and I was like, yeah, I kind of get it, but I don't like Apple, and I don't like this ecosystem. So then I was like, nah. And then I think I ended up either giving it away. I think I gave my watch to my mom. And then the iPhone I ended up using for a webcam for like mobile, like on the go. I think I was doing pull-up challenges and stuff at the time. And I was like, I'll just use the iPhone for that. So I made like a specific RTMP server and then connected the iPhone directly to it. So then I could capture the webcam from it without actually shooting it to the internet. So that was fun. And then the Mac Mini is kind of in storage because I kind of want to use it for a shitty SIE. Oh, God, I'm just butchering it. Whatever. That version of Linux that works on the M1. I wanted to do a video on that or maybe tinker with it a little bit more, but also just for historical reference, maybe pull up some of my old videos I did in Final Cut Pro back when I did Final Cut Pro. And I did that for about a year on Final Cut Pro. So there's roughly like 100 videos in Final Cut Pro. And before that, I did about 500 videos in Kden Live. Yeah, that's it. That one, dude. Asahi, I want to say is how you say it. Could be wrong, though. Oh, have to do the changes in settings, but otherwise we can do it. All right. Sounds good. Let's move that. Did we approve this? I think we did, didn't we? I don't see any issue with anything here. And let's read over that. What was it? Actions General. Under repo settings. Workflow permissions. Set the read-write permissions on pages for it to look a root. I think we have all that, but let's double check. So we go settings, And then we're going to come down into actions, general. And then we have all actions and reusable workflows. That's fine. Yeah. All right. We have first time delivers. Yep. Workflow permissions. Read and write permissions. Choose the default permissions granted to GitHub token when running workflows in this repository. All right. Allow actions to create and approve pull. Ooh, no. I don't like it approving PRs. I just never will allow that. I think all PRs should be run through a human. But everything else looks good here. So adding the right privileges should get us everything we need for that. And then we'll run the pages workflow and see how we do. So we got our merges coming in. This was 1 minute ago. What happened here? Problem with... Looks like a Python issue. Fatal. Unable to access... Oh, we just enabled it. So let's just rerun this job. Rerun failed. Yes. Rerun. Here we go. Give me a green check mark. Yeah, I think Hyperland, if you're going to go Hyperland, try the ML4W docs. I think, wow, that guy put in so much work. I was super impressed by the ML4W docs. And if you want to do that, I highly suggest it. Ooh, you are looking good. Green check mark all the way. Good job, Caleb. Appreciate you working on that. That is amazing. 1 PR down, 58 to go. Ooh, doggies. What do we got? Bump checkout 3 to 4, compatibility 90. Yeah, let's merge that. Sure. Don't see any issue with that. We can delete this dependabot. Usually checkout doesn't give any issues, or very, very few times does that ever conflict. But sometimes you never know. All right. So I think I started this stream saying the Linux bunch is a very, very passionate bunch. And I think it was another, we kind of had like a little bit of drama, and I hate drama. I just do. But whenever you have a bunch of people collaborating, it's almost inevitable. So we did have a little bit of drama between like Adam and NN and I think LJ. So it kind of went back and forth because like NN made a PR and then LJ, I think, took some of the code from the PR and then put that into his PR. And then it kind of went back and forth, and then some name calling happened. And I was like, oh, man. Oh, people, come on. Oh, drama. But, you know, it can happen. And you also see this, too, on some collaborations when, let's say you don't accept a PR and you're like, no, I can't do it because of this code's this way. And sometimes when you critique people's code, some people take offense to that. So you can run into some of the drama in here, but I try to keep it to a minimum. You know, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to make the best project possible. And we're just trying to keep it civil. But as you can see, I looked at this and I was like, 61 comments. Oh, what happened here? And I think I tried to shut it down towards the end. Oh, please tell me. Yeah. I was like, hey, here's my statement for this. Let's keep it civil. There's no need for finger pointing or name calling. We are all simply trying to make the best program possible. Constructive criticism of their code is good. Saying, hey, this PR has performance issues. I'd recommend X or Y, because that would be a good learning experience for everybody. So that's an example of good criticism. Attacking another person or name calling and going, hey, you're fat, or something like that, attacking their personal character or something that's not their code, not cool. So It's just like one of those things, and I get it. Sometimes you get a little more of the um, hard to grasp bunch in here, and some people need to go touch grass a little more, and you can get a lot of name calling going on. So just try and keep the constructive criticism to just the code. That's the big thing we're looking at. And then if you do like take from another person's PR, which I've done many times and had to put it in my own PR, I try to at least kind of credit them too, and just say, hey, I'm using this from your PR or referencing this PR to go ahead and roll this up. Or at the very beginning of your PR, if it's a dependency of it, you might just say, hey, make sure you merge number 293 or whatever it is before merging this project, and just kind of document that to give credit to the people that coded it initially. Or if you get that idea from that person, credit them. But you know, that's the thing. Yeah, and just try and keep it civil. That's the big thing here. So you got that, and you run into it. But you know, everybody means well. I like to say that's where I think a lot of people go wrong, is when you think someone's out to be malicious on purpose. And I don't see that really as a thing. I think a lot of people have like a certain idea in their head, and then they're just trying to articulate it a certain way, and then sometimes it's received improperly. Now, there are some trolls out there, and if someone's just straight up trolling in a project, I just ban them and then don't look back. But most people, especially contributors, typically have a good idea or a way of implementing it, and it's just sometimes hard to implement from my perspective, and you can go back and forth and run into some issues. So, okay. Just wanted to tuck on that. But I did see this, and I was like, oh, lordy. All right. Let's keep it civil. And this is all, I think, stemming from this revert changes from the script. And I'm not sure my take on these two very long-winded. This is 79 comments in this PR, and then there was this one from LJ with 61 comments, and it's kind of two competing PRs here. And this is where it's kind of hilarious to me. I don't think I want to add revert scripts. And this is hilarious because it means probably both PRs will get denied. And that's kind of crazy. I understand a lot of people do want revert scripts, but it's tricky to do in a proper way in every distro. And trying to keep up with revertible commands can be very problematic. So I think we're going to close both these PRs, which is kind of unfortunate. So hopefully I don't piss everybody off by that comment. It's just something that I was like, I don't know. I don't know if we want to do that. I think we first need to expand on the info command and some of those other things before we start doing revert changes. Yeah, you can do revert scripts if you're careful without problems, but the problem is when you revert, typically you're not doing a confirmation in the revert. And what happens if it picks up a dependency of a bigger package like GNOME or something? And then all of a sudden you purge GNOME. Do we really want a Linus type situation where we end up purging like Xorg or Wayland? And to that, I don't want to go down that road just yet. That's my main worry here with revertible commands, especially since we're having to force them through with no confirmation. It's a slippery slope, and one you have to be very careful with, and it can go terribly awry when going to revert, where in Windows it's much easier to do because of how Windows is structured. It's just structured differently in the aspect of reverting stuff. Purging GNOME seems like charity. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. You're not. But yes, I do want to avoid a do as I say situation. So when I looked at both those PRs, I was like, I don't know. I don't think we're ready to go. I don't think we're ready to go down that road just yet. What do you think about Java? I hate Java. I hate JavaScript. I hate everything about it. Just personal experience, and I just hate it. So, I mean, I understand some people, most people, I'd say almost, I think most, in TypeScript and JavaScript, the most popular languages to code in. So I know that's a pretty hot take, and by no means am I like saying, hey, you shouldn't do that. There are definitely people making a good living doing it. But to me, Java's just awful, and I avoid it like the plague. I think everything else is a better solution, except maybe Python. Python is just slow, and you shouldn't use it ever. Yeah, yeah, let's go a little deeper there. A little more of a hot take. And PHP, no. Nah, that sucks too. God, have we missed anything? Yeah, all right, cool. I think that's about enough hot takes for the day. All right, now that we've thoroughly pissed off everybody, we can move forward. Yeah, I just use Rust. Honestly, Rust, C, C++, C#. Honestly, I like all those. I think they're actual good languages. I'm not very good at any of these languages, but I do like them. Just from a just as a perfect, fun project. I always feel like I'm actually doing something when I use those languages. Where whenever I do like a Python or something like that, I'm like, ew, this is hacky. This is gross. I don't really want the world to know I'm doing this. And I usually don't ever like to actually broadcast when I do use those languages. Yeah. One of those things. Just one of those things. All right. Where do we start with these PRs? Holy crap. Let's just start at the beginning. Add tips box and display useful information. I think this is needed. And I really kind of want to try it out. This would be fun. But we refactored and we got to rebase this to actually try this out. Let's see what it is first. It's 239 is the PR number. Let's give this a whirl. I tried Zig and it's just so new. I couldn't really grasp it. So I can't really even say anything about Zig other than my smooth brain can't comprehend or do much with it because it's so damn new. There's not a lot of examples to go off of, and I need lots of examples. So yeah, when did Zig come out? Am I completely wrong? Please correct me if I am. All right, let's pull up old cursor. And we're going to just check out that PR. I know I could do like a git checkout and list and all that, but it just seems easier whenever I do it over here. Let's go open recent, linutil. Zig's about as old as Rust. That's strange. Okay. I wonder why Rust is more popular than Zig. That's interesting. All right, let's come on over to pull requests. Good night. This is a lot of pull requests. Do we have another tips? We might even have double pull requests here because people probably were like, I'll implement it. No, I'll implement it. It does seem like that does happen on this project quite often. God, I just need to dedicate, just not sleep and just do PRs on linutil all night. Okay. I don't think Zig is complete yet. Rust is stable, or at least more stable. Yeah, Rust changes a lot too. I mean, if I'm throwing shade everywhere, I might as well say that. Rust does update an ungodly amount. So much it makes me going, I can't believe Rust is really that recommended. To be honest, I was just like, kind of surprising to me because I hate things that get updated a whole bunch. Anytime I see something that gets updated a whole bunch, I'm like, I don't want to use it. And here I am using Rust. I know. All right, so we're checked out. Let's see what we got. We got 239. Let's do a cargo run. And I want to see this tips, and then we'll try and do a rebase with it. What was the tips exactly? Huh. Was it on the... I don't see any tips. Huh. Yeah. I don't know what this PR was. Q to exit. We already did a bunch of... I think just Linux user. We merged something earlier about this. Yeah, but I wanted tips, like a short description of what each script does. And that's what I thought this was, but this ends up being just a display useful information. Well, I'm going to close it. Close PR, moving on. Not what I thought that was. So let's go forward. So this was an interesting one by Carter Candy. Adding Control C to it. Now, if I remember right, this got referenced by somebody else. I think this is obviously really... What do we got? Oh, no, it's ready to go. Rebase went smooth, ready to be merged. Okay. Should be good to go. It's got deferred for a while. Rebase, conflicts with 239. Did I just close? Yeah, I just closed that. Okay. And I wanted to see, what just Linux users say? Is a bad idea too. You already had enter and ESQ. All right, let's take a look at the code base. Ah. All right, here we go. Let's see what we can decipher from this. I will say Rust is, I think, much harder to code. I don't think you can move very fast in Rust, but it's probably more safer, I guess, is the big draw to Rust. Because it'll just break, and then you can't compile the binary if it's not safe. But I don't know. Just my thoughts from this. Cross term key modifiers. Q and C. If key modifier control, return false. I think that's okay. Some spacing. I wonder why the change from brackets to that. That's an interesting... It switched from that to parentheses instead of brackets. I wonder why that's brackets and this was changed to parentheses. Does it matter? Same thing? Or is it just a Rust thing? Why Rust became popular quicker? Mozilla supported it? Really? Mozilla was the reason? I thought everyone, like, as soon as Mozilla recommended something, said, I'm not using that. Screw that. We're out. At least that's what it feels like to me. All right. The VIP, Raz. I think I can just make you. You've been here for a while, Raz. You can just go VIP. Because Peter's been here forever, man. He was here back when I started streaming back in 2020 for a little bit. There you go, Raz. You're now a VIP of the channel. Yeah. Oh, man. I can't believe it's been 2018 when I started YouTube. It just doesn't feel real to me. September, I think it was September 9th, 2018 was my first YouTube video. When I was like, I'm going to become a YouTuber. All right. Well, that looks good. Let's check out this one. What is this PR? This is 241. Let's try 241. We're going to switch the branch. Let's go back to main. Let's close this guy. Let's just stash. Crap. Close. Yeah, it's kind of crazy on a lot of that stuff coming up on YouTube. Yeah, 6 years being a content creator. Oh man, it's kind of wild. Kind of wild. I love it though. Like, don't ever let a YouTuber tell you it's not like an amazing job, because it really is. But then again, I've never really done it full time where I'm 100% dependent on it, because it always stressed me out to think my paycheck would be tied to like views. I always wanted to just make the videos I wanted to make. And I feel like if I didn't have some other job or some other source of revenue that's completely independent of YouTube, I would not make the videos I'd be proud of, or I'd have to take sponsorships that I wouldn't like. And I never want to do that. That's like the most unattractive part about YouTube. And it stressed me out whenever I did sponsorships at all. I've only done like a handful. But I was like, this works for me. So that's why I do what I do. Yeah, I mean, YouTube's a very interesting thing, and I do have some definite hot takes there. I love YouTube, though. Like, I look at it, and I'm like, you know what? This is pretty awesome. I can't believe that you can actually make money doing it. Couldn't find commit. Huh, okay. Let's do a git pull. Get stash drop. Git pull. Just making sure we're nice and clean. This is a status. That was kind of weird. All right, cargo run. So this is what we got. And then, oh, nope. What was I doing? Oh, I was setting up NeoVim, huh? Did it wipe it out? Crap. I guess we got to rerun it. Okay, cool. Did that break my NeoVim, I wonder? Probably just got to re-download everything. Will you fix DWM Titus ever? Yeah, man. DWM Titus is what that's my baby. It's an ugly baby, but it's still my baby. All right. Did that fix it? Oh, let's go. Yeah, cool. Nice. Oh, what is this? All right. Cool. So 241, let's try that out. This is this guy. So now if you look, you should have the control C to exit or Q. So coming into here, you got Q to exit. All right, control C, exits. Nice. Okay, that seems good. I don't see an issue with anything in the code. The only thing I was kind of unsure about here when looking at this code is why was this changed to parentheses from brackets on 238 in the state.rs. So I don't understand why that rebase happened and why that changed. I don't think it really matters, other than a consistency that kind of bothers me. Like, this is brackets, this is parentheses now. I don't like that. But I'm still going to approve the pull request because it does fix the control C issue. I think eventually we will try DWL. Because I've tried Hyperland a whole bunch, and I just can never get really that satisfied with it. So I might end up going like a DWL eventually. Might switch to Firefox when ad blocking breaks on Chromium break. Have they been saying it's going to be broken for how many years now? Kind of wild. I fixed your abandoned child, Hyperland Titus. Check out PR49. Ah, Cabber. Let's try it. Let's just jump over there real fast. Sorry, I got ADD today. Ah, come on. I have ADD every day. Oh, who am I kidding? All right, we got 3 pull requests. 49. Hyperland is now working correctly and all problems have been fixed. All problems? Really? Let's just find out. What are we doing? We've got an update to README. Instead of this ungodly thing, he's like, hey, let's just grab what you need. NeoVim. Venure. Sounds like manure. Rofi. Let's see. A bunch of Wi-Fi stuff. SWW. All right. Hotkey for help pop-up. Oh, you did a hotkey. Nice. Oh, that's right. I hate this. I need to redo that. I think I grabbed that from somebody else's dot file. Anyways. Small gripe. And then you're doing Mate pull kit. Updating it all there. We've got the laptop. For laptops, natural scroll, cool. Nice. Alacrity for the shallow regex. I like how you did this with checking the for and then hyphenating this. That's kind of neat. I like it. And then the decoration, you're like, hey, you're doing too much with all this crap. Let me just fix that. What a Chad. I like those changes. Layouts. Windows rules, file operation progress. Okay. Got that. NWG look instead of LX appearance. LX appearance is Xorg only, so that makes sense to me. Keybinds. Oh my God, how old was this? Oh, lordy. Look, I was trying to do W. Oh, gosh. That's awful. Yeah, looking class-F, thorium, hyperpicker. Oh, that's looking good. Man, this is way better than what I put together. Oh, good. You got rid of all that crap. And then we got some binds. We got NVIDIA right down here for an addition. We have all that. Cursor. Hyperlock.conf. Oh, I forgot to tell everybody. In true fashion, me being a flip-flopper, I think I might go back to AMD. Yeah. You heard it here first. AMD. You might be thinking, what about the RX 7800? And to you, I say, guess what? A little birdie came along called Hikari Knight and said they finally fixed, or was it Drummer? It was either Drummer or Hikari. I can't remember which. One of the OGs. Anyways, came along and said, hey, when Linux 6.11 gets released, your AMD will be fixed. I'm looking forward to trying it. I think I'm ready. I'm ready to make the leap. All right, Hyperlock. Getting rid of my Hyperpaper comp. Fixing some of my terrible grammar. And then we got our setup script, which is... oof. All right, that looks good. Looks good. Man, that looks great. I love that. That's obviously way better than anything I had together. Confirmed, merged, done. Beautiful. .11 gets the RDNA 4 support. Ah, okay. And apparently, RDNA 4 support helps with RDNA 3. Too funny. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. I like it. How's the Intel Arc cards on Linux nowadays? Ooh, man. I'm just scared of that. I guess that's why I don't really mess with it. All right, I approved these. We're good. We're ready to go. All right, on Linutil, we're going to merge the Control-C in. Pretty small merge, and we're moving on. Another pull request down. Bam, we're down to 55 pull requests. Oh, lordy. All right. Here we go. Went over the code base, fixing small errors. Just Linux user. Here we go. Love the reply ladder. Now there. Now, what did he do when I rebased this thing? Oh. Yeah, okay. So he never actually got into rebasing it based on this. You know what, though? We got to redo the releases. We absolutely have to redo the bases. Arc is power hungry. Oh, okay. Well, I was kind of out on Intel, AMD, Intel chips with graphics cards. I do appreciate more competition, but man, I don't want to be a guinea pig. I'm not going to sit there and throw $300 at something just to kind of try it out. Doesn't sound fun to me. So anyways, I do want to fix this. This is going to cause so many conflicts because people will do like a cargo build, and they'll build out this, and frankly, I think we need to just ignore the entire file. Now, when we make the release in here, if we look at the actions tab, like a GitHub release, right? And let's look at this YAML file. What I think should happen is we should have a proper build. You're doing the build, you're doing the target directory, you're pushing it into here, and then we're taking that build and moving the file pattern over here with the force option. This should commit it and put it in there. And with the force option, it should ignore our git ignores. Oh, also, I forgot. Before I forget here, guys. Big shout out to Mathis and Dillo at the start of the stream, and also AWI. Thank you guys for the Prime. 12 months tier 1 from Mathis. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And then, yeah, I appreciate all that, guys. I forgot to call it out when it happened. I think I was in the middle of my yapping. Sometimes I get lost with my yapping. I just love the soothing sound of my voice sometimes. I'm just like, I'm just gonna sit here and talk. I kid. All right. Kind of. All right, let's see. Oh, the link for the helper script. I do want to fix this though. Let's make a commit real fast. Let's go git switch main. Let's pull down those changes. Now, if we do a cargo run, you can see those changes. We're just gonna kill that. But if we go git ignore, we are already ignoring the build and target directory. I guess build linutil. That should ignore it, correct? Want to look a bit at the CI 427 and 2749. Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be tracked. The binary shouldn't be tracked, and that's what's causing agile. The answer to this question is it's doing something it shouldn't. We should be ignoring all of the build directory. However, it's showing conflicts and people are still able to track it. So it should be as simple of git rm build linutil. We remove it. We go get status. We're just changing the deletion of linutil and then the modification of git ignore. So if we go lazy G, get rid of build, get rid of tracking builds. You shouldn't be tracking your build or target directory in any language ever. right? Now, did I just break my release? Maybe. I don't know. We're about to find out. Technically, with the force, it should go ahead and do it and send it out and commit it. Although, maybe we modify the YAML GitHub action. So instead of committing it directly into the repo, so you're downloading it, what if we just directly add that binary as it's created and compiled directly into a GitHub release instead of having two separate actions, which I think is what we're doing. Because this is happening, right? And then this feeds into a pre-release, right? So it waits for linutil release to happen, and then it feeds over here, and then checking it out. We're grabbing the date version, feeding that into GitHub environment. We're creating all our release notes. Then we're uploading the release with linutil, start.sh, and start.dev. Should these all be one GitHub action? I think so. I think so. I mean, it is modular, I guess, but does it never need to be modular? I don't think it does, because honestly, you can get rid of the checkout, pull in the extracted version, generate the release notes, and then simply upload the release directly to that without ever having to do really a commit. Yeah, I don't see them being run for more than one reason, so why bother? I agree, and it simplifies things. I'm all about simplicity. Sweet, let's change this. Time for this to go the way of the dodo. So right now it's doing all this. If we look at linutil, it has all the same permissions. You got this checkout. We already are doing a checkout here. So really, we're just grabbing this, this, and that, right? So then we grab that. So when we do the commit right here, do we need to use that commit? I think so. No, I don't think we do need to commit it. I think we can just grab it, and then whenever the action ends, it just purges the builds. And that doesn't matter because the build gets uploaded to the latest release. I'm going to leave it for now because I don't really care. But maybe. Okay, let's delete this guy. I was wrong about Intel's CPUs being fine. They do get fried because the voltage is too high. But he said that was less known about. You know, I've had a 13 gen Intel since it launched, and I've actually been running it pretty good. But I did, as soon as I heard about the voltage being off, I did a BIOS update to rectify that. But at the same time, I don't do any crazy overclocking or anything like that. Although I do a lot of video production on that machine, and also quite a bit of gaming too. So it's kind of surprised that didn't screw something up. The Intel CPUs stem purely from board manufacturers doing stupid things and not reading Intel's spec sheet. I've always been a fan of getting a good manufacturer and not a cheap motherboard. I made a couple mistakes early on, I think, when I did PC building, and I got cheap motherboards. Much like a cheap case, those are things you can cheap out on, and it doesn't feel like it does anything. But I always have problems, and I always hate myself later on when I go to work on the system, and I'm like, why did I buy such a cheap motherboard, and why did I buy such a cheap case? It's causing me so much grief, and I'm losing so much time because of it. So, yeah. All right, we got that. Extract version, generate release notes, all that looks good. Let's give it a whirl. Let's build a release, shall we? We're combining this. I am going to do GitHub Desktop just so I can see it visually. Let's go linutil. You can see we're deleting pre-release, condensing it right here. Update, linutil release. Commit. Push. And let's see what we got for our new CI. Just buy Gigabyte and ASRock boards from now on. You know, I don't really like ASRock. I had some bad... I was doing a... It was a micro PC build, though, so I can't really hold it too much against it. Or was it... What is it? Mini ITX? Whatever the little super small board is. I was doing a small build with an ASRock. And then I think I was trying... No. It was a micro ATX, so it wasn't even that small. And it could not do PCI pass-through to save its life. It wouldn't separate my IOMMU groups, no matter what I did. And I just kind of lost all faith in ASRock after that. So I haven't actually done ASRock in a while. Asus, I think I've been on kind of go back and forth, and same with Gigabyte. I had an issue with a Gigabyte board 3 or 4 years ago, where I think it was the first, no, it would have been, shoot, it'd been like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Now 6 years, because it was the first gen AMD Ryzen, and it was a Gigabyte board, and man, it was not a great board. It was a gaming board, so it was a more expensive Gigabyte board, and I had issues with that. Well, that actually worked. Anticipated problems. Why was there a checkout here? Oh, that's a post-job cleanout. Okay. So then if we go over here, under linutil, let's go to releases. How are we doing? Okay, well, let's delete this draft. That's too much. What's going on with my releases? Let's look at our tags. Just making sure our tags are sequential. Delete this tag. Delete. Just making sure we don't have any bad tags in here. If you have bad tags in release drafter that don't correspond to your naming convention, it will break things. So we're going to take this release. You can see this tag. We could change the tag. When was the first release? I kind of want to keep the first release just so we have it, so we can look back on it. So let's come back. Come down, 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 down. First release happened on July 13th of this year. This was like the alpha release. So July 13th would have been, what is that, 06? Yeah, 0613. So that's what the tag should be. So let's go edit. We're going to create a new tag. And this is going to be 2024.06.11. Create that tag. Then we're going to save and update. So this was the first release. And then I want to come back into the releases and clean this up. I learned this in WinUtil. If you are using release drafter workflow, if you have a bad tag that doesn't follow a certain convention, and it can just grab that tag out of nowhere and try and use it, and then it grabs all the release notes, and it is just a shit show. So you don't want to do that. So that's why I check all my tags, make sure we have proper naming conventions and it's solid. You don't have any artifacts or anything that stands out. It should just be nice and clean like this. Why was this? Oh, because I just added that. Okay, that's fine. July is the 7th month. Is it? We're just going to leave it up there. Mackenzie, thanks for the prime. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Oh, all right. We're good. So now we know a release drafter should work. Our actions are good, so it shouldn't pull in all those release notes on the next one. However, I think we also have an issue. If we look at release drafter YAML, you'll notice something. This does not match. Let's open up the other text file. No, not that one, actually. Let's go open file. And I want to go over to WinUtil. Pull down all those changes real fast just to make sure we're up to date. I messed with this all last week on WinUtil. Drove me completely batty, but I think I have it under control now. So every project going forward should be tip-top, perfect release generation. Probably. But in reality, probably not. Something always breaks. It's just the nature of the beast. But less things will break. Probably. All right, let's grab this YAML file. So I'm using tag prefix, nothing here. Get rid of that. And then for future PRs, I need to get in the habit of labeling them. You can see this. Now I got rid of the contributors because they're already doing it there. We also have change title escapes. Don't know. That should be fine. And then we have some replacers and then skip change log. Yeah, I think that's fine. Anything else at the bottom? Oh, yeah. Filter by commitish was another one I had to add. And that should fix up our release drafter so we have perfect generation of notes every time. Yeah, we'll just say update release drafter and push that out. It's still broken. Specifically without quotes. Will still show the backslashes. Oh, well, that's just a bug. The actual full release now should actually show the stuff. I could probably do some of the, I think it's not escaping some stuff directly from the release drafter. But at least it shows the proper notes this time. So still probably a few things to iron out here, but you know, move fast, break things. But I think we should be better. All right, let's let this roll, see what it pulls in. And I'm kind of curious, is it going to grab like a draft? Or is it going to do it properly? Hopefully it just says draft and then just gives me the release notes from like hopefully no longer than like 5 lines. I think probably for this one. I think it does pull in pre-release, but the last major release is what it should go from and not grab any of the commits from the last major release. So the notes should be pretty concise. A lot of shoulds in there. Have you tried Magia? I have not. I don't know what that is, Christopher. Like how you spell it. All right. this is all built. Let's see what the release looks like, because I am kind of curious. Hopefully, we've got some love here. Releases. This is the draft. Oh, shit. It pushed this all the way up here. Did this go to latest? Oh, please tell me I didn't do that. No. Damn it, I'm deleting it. I wanted to keep the first release, but it's just going to interfere with my plans. So, goodbye, first release. To the trash can you go. You did a mistake with quotes on line 1 instead of just a single quote. I think you needed a double quote there, actually. That was not a mistake. So, in line 1, that's a double quote. Because typically the tag prefix would actually have something inside the double quotes. Most projects will have like a V, and then they do major, minor, and then patch, I think it is. I can't remember what the typical prefix is for normal projects. I like to do it by date because I'm weird and want to be different. Yeah, I always like that on Linux distros. I don't understand why. I get why some people like some of the derivatives. Like, so many people are like, every streamer like, check out Cashy, and I'm like, it's just another flavor of Arch, and I don't want to re-customize someone's already customized Arch. It just, I don't see the logic in that. Unless you don't know anything about Linux, and then you're like new, and you're like, hey, I don't know what to customize, so just go ahead and do it all for me. And that's kind of what I feel like most Linux distributions are, is just for noobs that don't understand what to pick. There's some nuance to this, but for the most part, I'm not wrong. Most of them are just derivatives of Debian, or derivatives of Arch, or derivatives of Fedora, with their own customizations. But if you're like an experienced Linux user and you're grabbing like a fork of a fork, you know, on a Linux distro, and then you're like, okay, now I got to customize it, that seems stupid to me. Like seeing someone use, let's use a popular distro just so I can piss everybody off. Kali OS, right? Kali Linux. With all of its customizations, you know, make it look like Windows and all these fancy features that Kali has. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're just a security researcher and you don't really want to learn Linux, but I kind of feel like those two kind of go hand in hand, and you should probably learn Linux. And maybe you're just a script kiddie and you just want to use Kali. I get it. You know, it's fun just launching Metasploit. But then again, you could just, you know, download and install Metasploit on Debian. Just saying. Yeah. So I definitely piss people off whenever I take it to Kali, because Kali's such a beloved distro, but I'm kind of the opinion it's bloated and I don't like it as a distro. But if you don't know anything about Linux and you don't know a lot of the tool set for, you know, like the Burp Suite or Metasploit and all these other things that come with Kali, there's a lot of good stuff baked into it that are already customizations that have been made and installed on it. So I guess if you don't know anything, that's fine. But to install those on just a regular Debian install, pretty simple, and you're going to have better performance because you don't have all the extra crap that comes with Kali, like making it look like Windows. I know I harp on that, but to me, it's just the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, okay. Oh my gosh, my boss is coming. You know, you just come over here and, oh, did I not have this? No, 1 second. Did I not even do it? 1 second. Oh, that was a bad example. Oh, I broke something. Uno momento. Oh, let's remove that. Feel like there was. Let's remove. Yeah. 1 second. Skill issue. All right, cool. Give it 1 more second, then I'm going to demonstrate. So let's say this was Kali Linux. I'm gonna just prime it real fast. I'm waiting for the boot. Oh. Maybe. Nah, it's still booting. There's a giant skill gap here. Probably had updates. I blame Windows on this one. All right. Yeah. This is from my latest video, so that's why it looks like that. So you're in your Windows, you're in your Linux, just popping around like, I'm super hacker. I got Metasploit. I got the burp suite. Oh no, my boss is coming. Better launch into Windows only mode on Kali Linux. Or if you're a normal Linux user, you just already have like a VM spun up. It actually has like a version of Linux or Windows running in the background, so you can actually not only look like Windows, but actually have Windows and do stuff in Windows, you know, and test things in Windows because, well, if you're a security researcher, that's what you're going to be doing because Windows is pretty much the most exploited operating system on the planet because it's the most popular and it's Windows. So a little twofold there. But anyways, I digress. That was a terrible rant. Could have looked so much better if I just popped over there and I didn't forget to do that USB redirection for a video I was doing. But you get the idea. Yeah, this didn't work, by the way. This draft was terrible. And then we got our pre-release. Let's delete this. And then we have this pre-release. God bless. How many pre-releases did I have? All right, let's delete this one. I'm going to clear out some of these pre-releases. When was the last time? We got to do a major release on the new utility. Before we get crazy here, we're going to do a major release. It's time. Good night. Okay. Here, our last major release was on 9/3, which would have been 13 days ago. Almost 2 weeks ago was our last major release. So we have our pre-release from yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. No, this is wrong too. No. We're going to delete that. But before we delete it, actually, let's go ahead and create another release. Is there DWM fixes and stuff in here? Oh, actually... 229. Just checking to see if it's duplicating my release notes. Actually, I think this is okay. All right. Now we're going to create a new release. It's going to work perfect. And then we're going to delete that other pre-release. All right, here we go. Ah, son of a biscuit eater. Today is not my day. I couldn't remember if it was workflow dispatch or not. No, don't judge me. Having one of them days. Yeah, I think they could do a lot better job with GitHub workflows. I feel like the documentation behind them is a little weird, and I find myself like kind of hacking away at them a lot. And then I usually can tweak them enough, but usually it takes quite a few different commits before I get it perfect. And then I always find myself going, okay, that one was good. Now I end up referencing that version so much. And then whenever I see a PR with it, I'm like, dude, I spent like hours on that workflow. And then anytime someone wants to change it, I'm kind of like, I don't want to do that. But yeah. Here we go. So we've got the new commit coming in. Let's see it build this wonderful release and not give me a whole host of release notes that are just a mile long. Would be beautiful. Oh, wow. Linutil Discord got boosted twice. Heck yeah. That's awesome. All right. You know, I noticed my feet were kind of cold this morning when I started this up. And I just realized it's because I wasn't running my Windows VM. It's like, yeah, now my computers are generating some heat. And normally my feet are a little warmer. But it was just because of the old Windows 11 VM wasn't going. I know. I now you know why I auto launch my Windows 11 VM on startup. I use it as a feet warmer. Otherwise, my system doesn't work nearly as hard, and my feet get cold. And the exhaust of my computer is just sitting right there, shooting right at my feet. It's kind of funny. I just noticed that. Thought I'd share. All right, we should be pretty much done. Oh, it's just sitting here. We're waiting. Hopefully we're not getting throttled by GitHub. Yeah, during the wintertime, I'm just going to load up Windows twice. Double the heat. Or just use an explosive AliExpress thing. That's also an option. CI workflow, Pro Auto Label, MGM. What's this? PJ, thanks for the Prime. 4 months. I love the emotes. Man, I don't know what happened here. I think maybe they shut us down. What happened here? You know, we still have this old remove directories in cargo lock. What happens if we change that manually? I still don't understand where that actually is getting referenced. Let's look at this, because I'm kind of curious. If we go and try and find this, it's only in cargo.lock, but it's not referenced anywhere else in the entire project. So I think at one time that crate was being used, but then it was leftovers in cargo lock. So if there's any Rust developers out there, what's happening here? So if you purge this crate from your project, shouldn't it also kind of clean up cargo.lock? That's what I don't understand here. Because I don't think we're using that. At one time, I think we used it. But yeah, just a thought. Another weird Rustism, I think. Sometimes cargo lock doesn't get cleaned up. All right. There is a cargo clean command. Yeah. But whenever you do that, linutil, right? And you go cargo clean. So you clean it all. And then let's say we just do, let's do cargo check, right? And this kind of goes through. And you can see that it's looking through all these crates. It is not grabbing. Run. Oh, no. There it is. So maybe the remove directory all crate's a dependency of another crate, and therefore it's grabbing it all in. It's kind of weird, right? Anywho, I'm not going to think too much on that. So anyway, sometimes I like to do a clean and then like a format all, just to make sure my formatting's right. I kind of grown to love this format all command from Cargo, because it seems to like clean up some like extra white space that happens in the project, and just making sure your format's in par, so it forces standardization, which I think is cool. However, when you first start, you might go, what the hell? What's going on with my commits and other stuff, especially as more people pull stuff in. But anyways, yeah, just an observation I noticed. Where are we on our actions? Still sitting here, just queued. Maybe one day. Can we not just... All right. So PR labels YAML. Where's that? GitHub PR labels. Oh, that's right. Oh, it's probably going through. This might take a little bit to initially do, because it's supposed to label a lot of the PRs from like enhancement, bug, documentation. So then when we get to our release notes, it'll actually separate our different releases into different categories. So it's easier to read each release. Oh, well, we'll let that run. Oh, you can set your ID to automatically run Cargo FMT on save. Oh, thanks, Adam. Appreciate the tips, man. So if we want to do that, set cursor to automatically run Cargo FMT -- all. Oh, that's cool. So it obviously cursor is just a fork of VS Code. So you just open your settings JSON file, add the following. Yeah. So I think you can just go colon, or actually settings file, settings.json, and okay. Yeah. Yes. Cool. I like it. Just edit format on save in your setting. Oh, yeah. Format on save true. That. Do you need to do the Rust analyzer cargo build scripts true and format right here? Or is that my LLM just throwing me down a wrong path? Format on paste is not a good idea. Thank you. Let's get rid of that. Usually LLMs will hallucinate and do some shady stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Check this VS Code settings file and make recommendations. Let's see what recommendations Sonnet will give me. Yep. Format on save. True. Cool. Autosave interval. You have a file autosave after delay, but the delay isn't specified. You might want to set a delay so it's not going crazy. Oh, yeah. Let's do that. So we're just adding a file save delay. Telemetry, disable telemetry for privacy. Man, look at that. All right, cool. I like that. We'll just add that, sure. Mini map. If you don't use the mini map, you can disable it. I like the mini map, man. People don't like the mini map in code. I kind of like it. Bracket pair colorization for better readability. That sounds like an improvement. Let's do that. Okay. Integrated terminal. If you use the integrated terminal off, you might want to increase its history limit. Yeah, actually, that is really annoying when it doesn't scroll back. Sure. Since you're using Git, you might find these settings useful. Enable smart commit. Ugh. I don't know about that. That looks sus. Oh no. All right. And then exclude files. To improve performance, you can exclude files that you don't need indexed. Cool. I like it. Thanks, LLM. You're so cool. Nice. Don't break your dev environment. We know that's going to happen. Oh, there is less than necessary. Okay, good to know, Adam. So I don't actually, in the settings file, using Rust format on save is not needed. Simply the save in format on save is sufficient. All right. How is our actions going? I think Microsoft got pissed off. We knocked off PowerShell Core as the #1 PowerShell project, and now they're holding me up. They're just saying no more GitHub action run flows for you and your projects. They shut me down. They're like, this Titus guy. We need to close shop. He's going a little wild. I mean, in their defense, it is kind of running a little bit much. I think I got throttled. And in their defense, it's a lot on the workflow. All right. Well, needless to say, whenever that happens, we'll let that fire off. I don't know when that'll fire off. Maybe it's like a certain amount per hour that they allow, and I'm already over the limit. It's possible. Okay. So overall, we've got a couple PRs. Out of the 59 PRs we started with, we're down to 56. Yeah. Oh, you know what else is happening too? I did something silly here on the workflows. I made like a cargo lock YAML file. We got to get rid of this. This was a junk creation. So if we look here, we're going to just come into GitHub desktop and we're submit this. I don't want to modify cargo lock. I just need to look at cargo lock on each commit. Sometimes I might omit cargo lock or maybe reply back to the contributor and say, hey, I need you to remove this cargo lock from the repo for this commit. But overall, I think that GitHub run was completely unnecessary and needed to be wiped out. You can circumvent that by running GitHub Runner Agent on your own hardware. Oh, that's a good tip, Brandon. Thanks for the comment. I'll have to look into that a little bit more because I noticed if I could do the runner on my own hardware, I could troubleshoot these quite a bit faster, I'd say. So let's go here. So this is a new file that's created for PR labels, YAML. And then remove labels if necessary. Okay. Add labels if necessary. And then analyze PR and manage labels. Looking for refactor, UI, UX, documentation, bug, and enhancement. All right. I think that's fine. Let's just try and pull this in. Maybe by adding this workflow, that's what's causing the GitHub Actions to not happen. All right, let's merge it, see what happens. Hey, you know, that's what always makes the most entertainment out of these streams. So usually I don't like backups and a lot of more cautious approaches to things just because it's not as fun for everyone to watch. I love just breaking things and going, uh-oh, things are broken, let's fix it. And I learn a lot more from breaking things too. Even if I end up looking like an idiot doing it, it's always a good experience in the end because you end up learning a lot more. Let's see. Fix typo. Oh, resurrected. Oh, no. Resurrected. I don't know what I was thinking there. It is a typo, though. Let's merge this. Firm. Breaking is the key to success. This is true. Implement minimum TUI size. Oh, what's that? Display a warning if the size of the terminal is too small. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, let's run our checks. Oh, we got to resolve conflicts first. Yeah. This was the addition of our Control C. That was a earlier PR. Was it just that one? I think it was just the one. Easy enough. I know I'm driving people insane doing this in a browser, but should be fine. Man, that's neat though. So if we look at the files changed, this is still linting, right? Oh, geez, we're still queued up for everything. Dang. Might not be able to do that YAML file. I don't know. Nah, I'll do the GitHub runner. I have tons of space and different hardware at my disposal, both in the cloud and here. All right. So drawable bool, drawable false. Then we are setting during the draw function in state. If width over this, terminal size default. Cool. That looks good to me. And then for handle key, this should be defined first to allow closing the application when not drawable. So we're doing just a queue to quit out. We could add and expand this to do the Control C as well, as it's probably needed. We could modify this a little bit. I mean, Q or Control C, I think should. Yeah, we probably should do both, because I don't think it actually shows in the paragraph. Yeah. I'm kind of curious if that would work or not. Okay. I feel like this auto label is holding things up, or it uses too many of the runs. I think we're gonna get rid of this one. Let's just cancel this run. And yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of that one from Diffuser. Sadly. So if we look, where is that YAML file? Should be in my workflows, isn't it? Oh, here it is, PR labels. Yeah, I'll leave it for now. I'm gonna just keep an eye on it, maybe let it run overnight. Just see what happens. But yeah, for whatever reason, GitHub's like not happy with me right now. So, oh wait, no, here we go. Wait, no, I lied. It's just like, it's not canceling. Cancel it. All right. Yeah, it's probably because of the 50 open PRs at a time. Oh, lordy. All right, I think tonight I might need to stay up late and then just go through each one of these with a fine-tooth comb. Oh my gosh. Oh, there was this GitHub DWM. Let me see. Let's go open. We're going to go DWM. So we have a couple fixes of DWM here. I think. There was one I remember looking at where it fixed the packages from Fedora, and I think Debian were actually incorrect. Yeah, I think this was it. Let's double check. Yep, this was it. So for Debian, and then I want to say DNF also had bad packages. But I can't remember. Did I merge that or not? Shoot. It might have got closed. Let's look. Let's just take out open, and we're going to just filter by DWM. GitHub down detector. Did we crash GitHub? Too many PRs. Linutil crash GitHub. Yeah, all right. Look at us. Yeah, it's only queued. I left it alone, Drift. We'll just let it go. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, I understand that. I want to see, here's the thing, Peter. I want to see it not block ads, though. I want to see uBlock Origin break and not get fixed. I want to see Chromium block all the ads. As much as people get hyped up, here's the problem with society these days. You get all worked up on something, and every single person, all your content creators and all these people, like, get you all worked up, going, well, the sky is falling. It's all coming to an end. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, God, I can't believe this. And then a lot of times they actually, like, reverse course before the sky actually falls. And then it doesn't happen. I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm not above some view farming. But in reality, I don't know. I don't know if Google will ever really block all the ads or remove ad blockers. I'm here for it when they do, and I would love to make that video when eventually everything just breaks. But There's a good chance it just won't. You know, I know Google's declared a war on ad blocking, but, you know, we'll see. Well, Brave's Chromium based, so we'll see what happens with all of it. I'm not 100% sure it's all gonna just break though. That's my thing. I feel like it wouldn't. How? We did merge this, and G was the one to merge it. We did fix it. Okay, I did accept this because I liked it. Yep. That's right. So G was the one to fix DWM Titus. And he submitted the TUI size fix. And also the DWM packages. So we're fixing this right here. XCB dev for apt. And then XCB res 0 dev. And Xenorama 1. I don't know if that's right though. Let's check. Because I don't... I'm not 100% there. Let's pop over old Debian, shall we? I think we had Bookworm on here. Shoot, I don't remember. What do we have on here? Oh, Debian Bookworm. All right, now let's go apt search Xenorama. Lib xcb Xenorama 0-dev and lib Xenorama.dev right there. What did he want to change it to? Lib Xenorama 1. That's there. Ah. I see. The dev files might not be needed. Maybe it's only Xenorama 1 that is needed. And then XFT. He's still got the development header files. He's just grabbing a couple more dependencies, it looks like. Okay, that makes more sense to me. He's just grabbing a few more packages, probably some dependencies. That looks good. I thought just the dev was all right as well, Adam, but honestly, I think these are dependencies. I don't think it really matters, but let's see. Read the comments. Runtime dependency fixes. If xrand or xset is wrote by DWM Titus, it will add them here. Okay. Overall, I think it's a fine PR. I honestly don't think it matters either way, but I think it's fine. Let's do it. I think we had an SL status in here as well that we needed to look at. Speaking of DWM. Oops. AL status. SL status. No SL status, huh? Oh, did I already? I think I might have already merged this. I already merged SL status. Okay. Yeah. That was from Raz and G earlier. So now we're down to 53. Can we get 3 more? Can we get 3 more? Maybe. SD DWM theme. All right, we got a branch. What? Well, here's how to get a denied pull request. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Cloning from your own repo. Yeah, I'm not looking to get geotanned. Yeah, you gotta submit them direct. I'm not cloning from someone else's repo off mine. Yeah, so we're grabbing the SDD repo from his hosted repo from Linutil. No. Can't clone from an external repo. Fork. I know. It's just one of them things. I'm sure he meant well by it, but you can't. I never will accept a pull request where it's a fork and then I'm cloning someone else's fork with code that I don't control, because it could be okay at the start and then all of a sudden they just change the code, especially when you're running a binary like this. It'd be super easy to do all kinds of malicious crap with it. So it's a massive security problem. And that's why anytime I see a fork and a clone like that, and it's not like a mainstream repo with like thousands of stars hosted by someone trusted, you just have to close it. Even if it is good code, you could create your own PR and then try and pull all those files in. But as far as accepting this PR, there's just no way I'd ever do it. Yeah, anywho, just thought I'd mention it. All right, service control script added. What's this? An add service button. Huh. Interesting. I kind of like the idea of it, listing the systemd units. So you're viewing all services, viewing disable, adding a service, removing a service. Ooh, I kind of like it. Look at this. It's like a little CLI menu driven by systemd, which most distros use. Oh. I like Adam's suggestion here. Checking to see if it already does. And then you got this. That's neat. I like it. And then the addition of it. Little services. That's neat. I like this one. Yeah, I saw it, Adam. Just a quick bug fix here would be this service name before doing an addition or entering a name for the service. If it already exists, don't do it. So technically, let's just do this. Commit suggestion. When did they do that? That's kind of cool. I just clicked it and like, yes, accept Adam's changes and forced it on the PR. That's neat. All right, so let's go to add service where it was. Well, was it up here? I just want to see that commit come through. We might need to refresh. Let's refresh. All right, and let's go add. Okay, here's our service edition. It did auto commit it. How cool. Sweet. Oh, go on githubstatus.com. All right, let's see. What do we got? Ah, actions is experiencing degraded availability. Good night. Let's give this some dark themes so we don't blind everybody. We are investigating reports of degraded performance with actions and pages. Two things we're using. All right. Good to know. Got one dude. Thanks for the prime. 8 months. All right, man. Let's go. I broke it. I broke it. I broke the GitHubs. Let's turn that off, though. All right. We got that. We've got those changes rebased 3 hours ago. Merge it. Let's do it. That's a cool script. I like it. Even if it doesn't work 100%, we could easily... The bones of it are really solid, and I love the structure. So that's why I'm like, we're adding it. We haven't tested it, but I'm sure we'll see some issues if it's a problem. Did actions finally run? I don't think they did. Oh, they're... No. No. Actually. No. They didn't. Oh, llama setup and utilities to run models locally. All right, Guru, what you got for me? Cross-check once. Suggested change from Adam. Man, look at all these people just kind of going through and changing it. Oh. God bless them. Let's resolve. Resolve the changes. Shoop, bloop, bloop, bloop. I know, I shouldn't do it here. I hear you. It's fine, though. Mark is resolved. Commit it. With you breaking this much, how about you applying for a job at Microsoft? They will love you for it. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the call. I'm waiting for old Bill to ring me up. Or actually, what is it? Sadia Nutella? Sorry, I probably butchered his name. Oh, let's see. Olama. Setting up Olama with the install. All that looks pretty agnostic. Nothing independent. You set your based on your GPU, how big of a model you want to go with. Good night. Look at this model. 231 Llama 3.1. Ooh, I mean, shoot, even 40 gigs is kind of insane. I guess if you want like Jippity 3.5, you need to go at least the bigger model. Anyhow, I still like the idea of running all this locally. I think that is just neat. Prove. Let's go. Yeah, let's confirm that and merged. Look at that, 50 pull requests. One more. Oh. Merge 335 before. So this has synergy. As the current state of my bash without 335 will attempt. Okay. All right. Move my bash and CTT in Vim to linutil with minor refactoring. I was thinking about this. Good night. This is, oh, jeez. Just one more. It got me. All right. Well, look at in denying back and forth. You can't append to a bash RC. That's going to end up in disaster. Interesting. I really like it when people are really defensive of their code. and kind of go back and forth. Sometimes it yields the best results, which is kind of cool. All right, nice. Let's look at the code. Just getting an idea of what's going on with it and seeing his implementation. So my bash initially was cloning the my bash project from GitHub. I think I'm going to archive it. I really do want to bring all this in-house. The idea behind bringing it all in-house is if it's just all in one binary and we're not really cloning anything, then we could actually just hand a binary to someone. They could have it on a thumb drive. They could have it on their own personal NAS box, wherever. And they could just run it. And it wouldn't even need internet access. And it could do the NeoVim setup. It could do the bash setup. It could do all those things without doing it. But having said that, if you don't have internet access, it's going to fail anyways because there's so much stuff on the internet it has to go out and grab because it doesn't have all these packages local. Anyways, I do like it all on one project, though. Zoxide. Is that the official Zoxide repo? Yes, yes it is. 21,000 stars. Ajit. Ajit, all right. Just double checking. You know I said earlier about it. But NN is looking out for us, grabbing from the official repo. We're just double checking those things. Oh, looking good. Right now we're just cloning the NeoVim directly. And grabbing those files. All right. So he's still grabbing most of them. He's just omitting like the setup file, which I'm actually kind of okay with because I think almost everything should be set up here. And I like this. I am thinking of what I need. Like I think MagBash can be archived. And I think NeoVim, I have to look at what I'm hosting in my NeoVim repo on my configs. I feel like that could be better. Just thinking out loud here. What the hell are Titus coins? It's a new implemented feature that's coming up on the old Twitch stream. I still haven't figured out what the hell to do with them either. Soon. And by soon, I mean sometime in the next 5 to 10 years, I will do something with them. I just don't know what. If anybody has any suggestions, I'm all ears. New crypto project that I'm launching. Yes, I'm going to fund my GitHub projects with this new crypto project called Titus Coin. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it sounds like a security. That's a good way to get the... what is it? The SEC knocking down your door. All right, we're going to apply that. All right, let's bring it in. Bringing it in-house. Thank you, NN and Adam, for the review. Merge 409 before this. It includes a refactor regarding configs. Okay, 409. Move config setup outside of the setup functions. Interesting. What's going on here? As of right now, everything is clumped into one function. Having separate functions would be much better. Cleans up code, makes everything more readable. Sounds good. So what's the change? So right now, in the Alacrity setup, where was that? Huh. Guess I had a different function for setup Alacrity. Setup Kitty. Was I cloning from these? No, they weren't their own repos. He's just adding a function. Setup Rofi. So if we look at it, he was doing an install. So you do an install. Okay. So you're just breaking out the, so you'd set up Kitty and then set up the config. I'm kind of back and forth on this one. I mean, if you're setting up, you're doing the install of the dependencies. The config, I guess, is a different way of doing it. I don't know if I really care about this. Maybe. Oh, okay. He fixed it and put it on 430. Okay, good stuff. I easily outcycle Chris and outsquat him, but he would beat me with pull-ups and push-ups now. Really? Can you do a clean and jerk, Peter? I mean, my clean and jerk's not like super impressive, but it's still there. Here, I know you're always constantly harping on me, but here. Yeah, just to push back a little bit here. Oh, God. Oh, God, no. Tell you, every time I open up X and Twitter on stream, it kind of gives me anxiety because it's like, oh crap, please, no nudes. You know, this platform is so doomed. I've never seen something that's just I'm gonna go to it one day and it's just gonna say 404. We just know it's gonna happen. But I mean, good night. I've never seen something just die so quick. Like, you talk about a risky click. Quick, you want to speed run getting banned on Twitch and YouTube? Click here. Anyways, I'm sorry. I digress. Well, let's see. It should be in here somewhere. I think I posted it last week. Somewhere. Got too many notifications. Maybe not. All right, let's just go to my profile. Couldn't have been that far back. Ah, here we go. Bam.
Hey, a personal record, clean and jerk, 160.
Here you go.
Pounds,
Shirtless Titus.
2-year update.
Sorry.
On my fitness. Couldn't do a clean and jerk on any weight when I first started. So, let's see.
165. About what? 70, 80 kilos. I mean, it's not the best form. But I'm coming for you, Peter. Well, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I want to see. I want to see the receipts. I've shown you mine. Now. You won't outcycle me, though. Oh, he's already walked it back. He's already walked it back. Oh. Yeah, you probably would outcycle me. I go with my father-in-law every Monday. We usually cycle 20 to 40 miles. So, I mean, I don't know, what is that in 20 to 40 miles in, you know, probably let's say 30 miles. Probably about 50 kilometers. I know you're overseas, so I'm just doing the conversion for you. I do over 25 kilometers an hour. No kidding. On a long distance on a regular bike. 25 kilometers an hour. Damn, all right, you're hauling. I think I'm usually doing about 17, 18. Wait, no, that's miles per hour. 17 miles per hour. You're just derailing the whole stream here. MPH to kilometers per hour. We'd have some competition. It'd be close. I think I can still get you though. It'd be close. I can do 32.5 on a road bike. Ooh. All right. I mean, you probably would get me. Cycling's not my jam usually, but yeah, I gotta jump on that damn assault bike every once in a while. I hate that thing. But this looks, yeah, we're gonna prove it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with modularity, and it does make it more readable. All right, cool. Fahrenheit scares me. 32-degree water freeze. I mean, that's fair. That's a fair point. I think most Americans will push back and say this. 70 Fahrenheit just sounds better, and it's easier to adjust from a room temperature standpoint. I think that's the only thing I've heard that makes somewhat sense on Fahrenheit. I'm not defending the Fahrenheit. I'm on board with the Celsius conversion for the most part. Although I accidentally converted all my cars to Celsius. I know, weird. I was messing around and I accidentally hit something and I switched it to Celsius. And now when I'm like setting my inside cabin temperature and my wife jumps in the car, she's like, really? What the hell's 22.5 Celsius? Like, what are you doing here with the inside of the cabin? I just want it comfortable. I'm like, I know. I'm gonna adjust it. It's a little too cold. I'm gonna go up to 24 Celsius. And she's like, so is that like 70? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. But she won't grab the temperature and adjust it because she can't do the real-time conversion. So there's that. Although I don't think she would adjust it anyways. All right. So we got fast fetch. So what was this? We were just doing all these. And we're setting up fast fetch in here. Adam's fixing some of the terminology. Yeah, sure. Commit that change. I like that. And then copy. Oh, yeah. Commit that change too. Man, I like this. The way Adam makes these suggestions just directly in line. So then I can just be like, yep, that's a grammatical fix. And then we got our fast fetch setup. We're grabbing it from home. Okay. Fast fetch. Where are we getting the config though? Ah, right here from my bash. Okay. I almost want to grab this config file and put it in-house, but nah. Right now we're going to leave it out. I don't want to bring everything in-house yet. Alrighty, we got fast fetch, grabbing that, merging it. Look at that, we're down to 47 PRs. Whew. That's awesome. All right. Let's check in with chat here. I know we should have probably done a little bit more today, but everybody has their on and off days. Still got a lot of open PRs. I'm going to try and work through a lot of these tonight. For tomorrow's stream, I'm going to be out of it again. Still going to stream, mind you, as I truly believe, even if you're not at your best, showing up is half the battle. So even if we only get a couple PRs done, or we hash around, or maybe we do something more fun, maybe we just install a different distro or do something with a VM. I mean, there's some other stuff I got rattling around for tomorrow's stream. Actually, we probably should try Hyperland Titus again after all that big PR today. Maybe we do that. I know I've done a lot of Hyperland streams lately, but I feel like I haven't gotten a good Hyperland configuration and something that I'm like, hey, look at this. It's neat. It works right. And I like it. Every other Hyperland stream, it usually ends up with me ranting and raving about how much I hate Wayland and Hyperland's hard to configure. And I know that's not always the case. And I just want one stream where I'm like, hey, Vaxry, I didn't totally just shit all over your project. I appreciate what you do. Thanks. And that stream hasn't happened yet. Hopefully he's missed all the other streams, because otherwise he's like, I'm writing Titus off forever. So, all right, guys. Thank you all for stopping in today. It was a blast. I love it. We've made some progress. We're just going to keep chipping away. It's all about showing up, even if we don't make a lot of progress, we're just chipping away. It's all about just making those incremental pushes forward and, you know, getting forward, pushing forward. It's all about the baby steps, not the giant leaps. That's where progress happens. And this was fun. This is just fun. It's fun creating something that I think many more people will use. It just needs a little more love, a little more, you know, TLC. It's awesome. All right, y'all. Have a great one. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.